So we will be going through a simple walkthrough on Meta Spark Studio where you'll get to see where everything is, how things work, and you'll get to figure out how comfortable it is to work with and the placement of things and how you can get confused and whatnot. So I'll open Meta Spark Studio. At first, it will ask you to log in using your Facebook account credentials. So you can enter that and log in, and then you get ready to create Instagram filters. Right now, I am on version 159. I have not updated for some time. The current version, the latest one, is 164. I'm going to skip this for now. Okay, so this is what you see when you get started. So if you want to create a blank project and then take it forward to see how things work, you can start with a blank project. Sharing effect, this is what I usually work with, where I can create custom Instagram filters or for ads. So this is where the magic happens for me. And video calling effects. So if you're specifically creating AR experiences for video calls, be it on Instagram, Messenger, or any other platforms that Facebook works with. I think this is for MetaQuest, I'm not sure. But in that case, you can use the video calling effect option. Right, there are a few templates you can get started with, which will help you create these filters much faster. So here you go. So pass the object. Then there is, I'm not sure what this is. I think it's just a heart effect when you blow a kiss. Yeah, that's right. There is a 2D body tracker, face decoration. This is super useful when creating fashionable products. Same with the neck decoration in case you're working with chokers or neckties. Then there is head decoration for caps. Then there's a simple face mask, makeup, color filters, and even eye colors and a wing effect. This is highly underused. I feel it has potential in terms of aesthetic filters, but I mean, what do you know? What do I know? Okay, so we'll start off with the walkthrough. We'll start off with the sharing effect. Okay, so this is what your scene will look like. So here's what we refer to as a demo video. It's a WebM file with no audio playing. So you can go up top. This is your workspace where you can show and hide different items. Then there is the video. So you can use your own FaceTime camera or your webcam basically. You can also use your iPhone if you are connected to a Mac. I'm not going to do that because I'm not in the right state to show my face. So you can use the real time simulation options, and you can also use the plus icon to add WebM videos in horizontal and vertical orientation. But right now we'll work with this. So this is the list of demo videos that you get, and I'm still volunteering for getting myself on or Mark Zuckerberg. It has to be either one of us with the faces over here. And you also get some for testing out different lighting effects. This is highly useful for let's say placing furniture or something like that. So this works really well. Alright, so we just switch the effect over here to this one. Only the OGs know about Dolapo or Dolepo. I cannot recollect his pronunciations well, but here we are. So as you can see here, there's a device. That's the shape that you get. There are a lot of options for render pass and whatnot. Then there is a camera. You can extract the texture, depth, different types of segmentation. We'll come around this in the future tutorial. Then there is focal distance and things like ambient and light directions, which we don't usually touch. What we work with over here is the plus icon, where you can add things like a face tracker for tracking faces, plane for tracking flat surfaces, target tracker for images, and hand tracker for your hand to showcase different objects or whatnot. Then this is the scene understanding, as you call it. Then there are 3D objects that you can add, which is a plane, a null object. Null objects are useful for grouping a lot of different objects together. A 3D object, face mesh. Face mesh is where you can work with mask and retouching and whatnot. 3D text, not often used but good to have. a vector object. So this is not available for, let's say, an Instagram sharing effect. Then there are also 2D objects like canvas and rectangle, a 2D stack, which is good for having a stack layout in case you need it. Again, 2D text. And for lighting, you have ambient and directional, as well as the environment light, point light, spotlight. So I don't usually work with them unless a project requires it. And then you have effects speaker. This is for when you want to use audio externally, and a particle system to emit particles. So let's say if you want to showcase rain or something, that's your way to go. Now on the bottom left corner you have assets. So here you can import from your computer, from your desktop or your laptop. And next up we have the AI library. So AI library is good for 3D objects, music and sound, that is VFX and all that, patch assets. So in case you don't want to take the time to edit your own audio, which we'll get to in the future video, this is where you can go to sound to search for audio. There are different patch asset textures and blocks for different needs that you might have. And when you come to 3D objects, here when you want to import an item, it will ask you to log into Sketchfab on this corner. So on the top right side, you just have to log into Sketchfab before you get to use these objects, and the licenses. So this is the Creative Commons attribution. So those will be shown within the filter itself when it's live on Instagram. So this is usually where your assets go. And on the right hand side, you have the properties for anything that you add in. So let's say if I add a plane, which is a 3D object, right? So I name this plane. Here you can see the position of it. So if I just make this 0.05, it will move to the left. Same with Y and Z axis. Scale is good for obviously changing the size of it. And rotation is basically 0 degree to 360 degree. So let's do 45. So it's easy to understand. That's on the X axis, Y axis, and the Z axis. So easy enough. And you can create a material for it here. This is the material that is linked to the plane. So this material we can again modify. So you can see it's gray in color even though it shows white over here. So that's because the shader type is standard. We change it to flat. We can change the color here to, let's say, our brand color, which is FF299C. So that's a bright pink that we got. If you want, you can also choose a texture to go with it. I'm just going to use a stock image for now that is appropriate for this one. Okay, I'm not able to find it. Where is it? There you go. I'll change this color back again to a solid white. And here you have the capybara. So this plane is linked to this material and is using this texture. So it's always a good idea to, let's say, name everything to the one that you're using. Capybara. Okay. And in textures, you can see it's still compressing. If you want things to be as it is, not lose quality, you can just choose none for all three. That is iOS, Android, and older Android. Right, so this will increase your file size, of course, but yeah, if you want to work with the highest quality possible, then that's the way to go. So once you come here, again is the AI library, same thing as before. So we're going to close that. Test on device. If you're logged into Instagram and the account is connected, you can send a test effect for you to try on the Instagram app itself. Same for Facebook, you'll get it as a Facebook notifications. So do check your notifications once you work with it. You can also work with the mobile Meta Spark there, but it's a lot of hassle because you have to connect it to the USB cable and get it working. If you think, okay, this filter is good enough as it is and you want to take it and export it, so you go to publish up top. Okay, so you can see the file size meets the requirement. Oops. Yeah, so there you go. Texture is 648.49 kilobyte approx. And coming back to publish, compatibilities as well. they are all working well. So once you export this, you can just name it, just go to downloads, capybara, there you go, and this opens up. So next up we'll be looking at the patch editor. This is what you'll be usually working with. So it's Option Command P on Mac, and I think it's Control P on Windows. I'm not really sure, but let's say this is where we come to add some finesse to our filters. So let's say I want to add a loop animation. Okay, so then I think animation. Okay. Okay, so transition, and let's say if I want to increase and decrease the scale of this, so this is what I'll go with. So start, let's say 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So as you can see, there's some bit of animation. So the patch editor is useful for creating these sort of animations and interactions and logic boards. So here you can say I can increase the duration to, let's say, 4 seconds to slow down the time over here. And you can select all of these three, which make the component of this animation. Select them, right click and comment around. And you can always name it, let's say, scale animation, and you'll be good to go. Right, let's say if you want to add some instruction over here, so you go to device, instructions and time. So you'll have like a timed instruction here, and you can use a plus icon to add an instruction. Let's say we just say open your mouth. I mean, it's not going to do anything, but still. So open your mouth. If you refresh, nothing happens. Duration 5 seconds. I think this should work. Yeah, so if I restart, this open your mouth instruction will be there for, let's say, 5 seconds and then disappear. So you can always pause your filter over here and advance frame, stop it and restart. So restart is really good to get to the start point of any filter. So this is what does it for a quick walkthrough of Meta Spark Studio, and I hope it helped.